We've just hit about $32,000 in profit within the last 3 months in the options trading portfolio. I'm basically over there just creating my own dividend in that portfolio. Something like what these covered call ETFs do. I might as well come out with one and call it the Investing with Johan covered call ETF. And when I think about that amount of profit within a 3-month span, I try to wrap my brain around the amount of money I would have to stuff in a dividend portfolio in order to receive $32,000 in a single quarter. And it makes me think of a number somewhere between absolutely sickening and absolutely disgusting type of money. And while we're at it, let's just run a couple numbers here. If you wanted to be super safe, and let's say you were in your retirement era and you had a super safe dividend portfolio yielding you about 2%, you would need to have $6.4 million in that portfolio to collect $32,000 in a single quarter. If you had a 4% dividend yield, you would still need a portfolio about $3.2 million. And if one day you happen to wake up and the flick for full-blown risk goes off and you want to become a complete absolute degenerate and YOLO your entire portfolio into something like JEPI that yields about an 8% yield, you would still need $1.6 million in JEPI giving you 8% to have this type of money. And this is why I always stress to you, it is so important for you to learn how to sell options and for you to grasp the concepts of selling options and doing it properly because it can boost your portfolio light years. Did you see the results of that portfolio with $6.4 million with a 2% yield? It's going to give you $32,000 within a quarter. I just got the same results with a sliver of that price, basically for a fifth of the amount of money needed in that portfolio. But moving on from that, the point of this video today is to show you that little tiny portfolio that we started building a couple weeks ago on the channel that we're turning into the $1 million portfolio series here, what it's doing. And although this portfolio is a little speck of what it's going to grow to be one day, I do realize that it all has to start somewhere and that one day this portfolio is going to be the apple of my eye. And right now, although it is not a dividend printing machine and it is not a big conglomerate of a money dishing portfolio, I just want you to see that this is absolutely possible for anybody to do. And it all starts from somewhere. Right now, it doesn't look like much, but one day we're going to look at this portfolio and we'll look back at a video like today, episode number 2, and you will notice like, man, that dude was right. That portfolio is well into the 6 figures. And I remember when his portfolio had under $2,000 in it. All right, so enough jibber jabber. Let's jump right into the meat and potatoes. And by the way, this is Snowball, guys. I am tracking my portfolio with Snowball. Snowball is an amazing research tool. There's a link down in the description below. If you don't have anything to track your dividend portfolio and you want to join something like this to keep track of your investments, which makes everything a lot easier, go down in the description below and make sure to use my referral code for a discount. With that being said, let's jump right into the numbers. So as you can see, I have SCHD on the board. And with SCHD, the position is currently at about $436 on a cost basis. Right now, I'm not making much money out of this. As you can see, I have 16.6 shares of SCHD. In dividends, I'm making yearly $17.03. I promise I'll try my best not to spend it all in one place. And one thing I love about Snowball Analytics is how neat and organized everything is on this portfolio tab that you see here. It shows me everything. It shows me what I'm going to get paid per share. So now I know for a fact, every share of SCHD is going to pay me $1.02. It helps make everything so much easier and I just love this tool. So moving on to the second position of the portfolio, let's talk about, I want to save that one for last. I'm going to save the best for last in my opinion. So stick around. This one we're going to save for last. But the second one that we're going to mention here is Meta, aka Facebook. So I only have about $200 invested in Meta. And as you can see, it only gives me 0.28 of a share. So it's a tiny little sliver because the price of the stock is $720. But right now, the dividend per year, wait for this one, brace yourself, put your seatbelt on, brace yourself. The dividend here is 59 cents in a year. Oh God, oh boy. But anyway, Meta does pay you $2.10 per share. This position is going to grow over the next couple of months, obviously. But right now, it's just funny to look at it with 0.28 of a sliver of a share. I will be adding a lot more to this over the months, like I mentioned. And I really do like the fact that Meta is keeping up with AI. If you look at all the stuff that Zuckerberg is doing, Zuckerberg is basically recruiting the top of the top guys involved in the AI space. He's offering hundreds of millions of dollars to build the best team for Meta. And that's just something that I'm digging. I know for a fact this guy is hungry. He's trying to make this thing top notch. This stock has so much more growth in front of it. If you're not buying Meta, put it on your watch list and watch it because you're going to look back at this and you're going to say, damn, I wish I bought it at $720. So moving on to the third position in this little portfolio, we have the triple Q. I only have about 172 bucks invested here, and it only gives me about 0.31 of a share. In dividends, I'm getting about 88 cents a year. Again, womp, womp, womp. It will grow though. Have patience with me. Have patience, young grasshopper. This will grow and you'll see it live. And right now the dividend yield is 0.51%. So it's not a big yield play. It's not to create a bunch of cash flow in the portfolio, but this is to keep up with the growth. When the stocks are down and we have the value stocks struggling a little bit, the growth stocks will pick it up. The fourth one that we're going to talk about here today is Apple. I have about $106 invested in Apple. It gives me a little over half a share, and my yearly dividend comes out to 53 cents. Again, none of this is sexy, but this is the reality of starting a portfolio from scratch, guys. This is how it is. You got to be able to stick it out and fight through these little dividend periods of you looking at this and feeling completely hopeless and saying, what the heck am I even doing this for? What am I going to do with 53 cents? One nice little feature about Apple is that they do have a dividend growth rate of 4.99% over the last 5 years. And their dividend is just about 0.5%. And again, this is not a big cash flow play within the portfolio. This is for the growth side of the portfolio. And then the plan is that one day I'm going to get this position to be big enough to sell covered calls within the portfolio and help boost that dividend a little bit more and eventually beat the S&P 500 return on a yearly basis. That is the goal for me. I want to beat the S&P every year. I know it's not easy. For most people, they think that's a risk. I'm going to do it. Moving on to the fifth position in the portfolio, we have the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF, ticker symbol VOO. I currently have about $216 invested in VOO, and right now it gives me about 0.38 of a share. VOO does not offer a huge dividend yield either. They're only giving about a 1.22% dividend, and that right now is coming out to about $2.63 a year. All right, so moving on to the last position that I'm currently holding in this portfolio, and that is Google. Google is one of my favorite positions in this portfolio, and it's honestly one of my favorite stocks to be buying right now at the moment. And I'm not sure if you know this or not, but in terms of net income, Google is the most profitable company in the entire world right now. Let me say that again in case you missed it or in case your internet glitched out or something. Google is the most profitable company in the entire world. Why would you not want to invest in that? Now, you tell me something like that. Let's say I was at your house and you tell me, Johan, Google is the most profitable company in the world. And I told you, oh man, I don't want to buy any shares of that. Dude, you got to be smoking crack. You bet your butt I'm going to invest as much money as I can in this stock. And obviously, they don't pay much of a dividend. I think the dividend right now is just under 0.5%, but the future growth potential of this stock is absolutely insane. I'm super excited to see what Google's going to do. Google's pretty much competing with ChatGPT. Not sure if you know that or not, but Google has its own AI version. When you search something on Google now, there's an AI version tab that you can click on it and it gives you this whole little, basically a ChatGPT function, but the Google version of that. And with that being said, my Google position is currently just under $600. I have 3.44 shares. And my current dividend income on a yearly basis with Google is $2.89. So for the month of June, I deposited $900 into the portfolio. And so far in the month of July, I've deposited $825. And the portfolio is currently sitting at about $1,750. So with that being said, this little update right here is just to show you guys, this is not easy. Like, you're not just going to one day wake up and have $550,000 in a portfolio that's going to print you $1,000 a month, right? This takes work. It takes time, but you have to be patient. Be patient, young grasshopper, because right now it's so cute sitting at $1,750, but one day it's not going to be so cute when it's printing out $300 to $400 every single month on a consistent basis and it's sitting well into the six figures. And it does take time, but the wonderful thing about it is that this is a perfect example how a guy like myself, somebody born in a third world country, born in Cuba, came to America as a small child, busted his butt for 15 years working, and put this money into the portfolio and eventually reach the American dream. It is possible. You can do it too. Because if I can do it, I know for a fact any of you guys can do it. English was my second language, okay? So if you were born in America and you have half a brain that works, you can invest in the stock market and you could build yourself a portfolio. It comes down to, the truth is, it happens to come down to how bad do you want it? How bad do you really want to hit a level of financial freedom? Yeah, this is not cool to show off. Hey, here's my $1,700 portfolio. Duh, that's not sexy. That's not something that's astonishing. But the thing is that one day that is going to grow and that portfolio will sing a different tune one day. But you have to start off from the trenches. We are in the trenches right now. We're building this thing. We're building this little snowball and we're trying to pack as much snow as we can into this little thing till eventually roll it off a big hill and then it will start compounding and growing on its own. But we're in the process of packing that little snow and getting that little snowball together right now. So with that being said, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them down in the comment section below. I love jumping in that comment section and talking to a couple of you guys. Pedro, you've been hitting me up with a couple comments lately, man. It's super cool to see some of you guys, my viewers, think the same way that I do. We've never met in person. We've never met each other. We don't know each other. And we have the same vision and the same ideology when it comes to investing. That's awesome, man. And that's what's so cool about this community. So yeah, feel free to leave me a comment down below. Don't forget to smash the thumbs up button for the YouTube algorithm. It does help get this video to the people who are searching for it, people who do want to build a dividend portfolio and have no idea where to start. Hitting that thumbs up button does go a long way to help this video get to them. The algorithm works in weird ways. But anyway, if you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe to the channel. Come along for the journey, man. This is going to be cool to look back on one day and see this portfolio rocking and rolling. So with that being said, thank you guys for hanging out with me for a couple minutes tonight. I will see you on the next one. Peace.